City Pigeons, episode 73. We're back again. We are really getting good at consistency.
We should have planned this out and made this episode 62.
Consistently, we should have made this episode 62 as a way to honor Jason. Why do you come up? Why do you come up with these ideas after we start?
I just thought of it.
I mean,
I forgot these numbers were even. These episodes were even numbered.
What the hell? That's such a good idea that I'm upset that it's 73. Well, obviously, this episode is going to pay homage to Jason Kelce, amongst other things. And we're thrilled to be here again. I was going to say we are a model of consistency. If you look at how to make a podcast work, people are going to tell you it's all about consistency. And here we are every Wednesday for the most part recently. We should be commended. Yeah, we're 5 minutes late.
It's awesome.
If the people could see all these wires and contraptions, they would understand, I think, what we got going.
And that thing isn't on the side of the screen.
Thank God. Yeah. There was this little thing. Anyone wants to talk to me about clean HDMI, we can talk about it separately. But anyway, point is this. We're back, baby. We're psyched to be back. It's been a great week. The Kelce thing has been sad but uplifting all at the same time. You know, it's really made, at least me, appreciate who we are as a town. You know, and that's been great. But let me do it again because I'm not great at this, but I'm getting better. And I realized last time I did all those introductions, guess what I didn't do?
What?
Introduce yourself. I didn't even introduce myself, you know, and who cares? But I'll start by introducing myself this time. Jesse Rendell. As Meech said, I
would have introduced you.
You would have introduced, you would have done it. My only claim to fame that people is I'm the son of the Gov. I mean, let's just get it right out there, okay? You know, I've done some other things in my life and we don't have time to go into all that.
You built this stage.
I did build this stage. Shout out Trevor. We built this stage.
I have no claim to fame.
Is there a dog barking under your
legs?
That's
bullshit. Actually, no. You know what it is? There are sounds coming from our guest, who he's not our guest, but a member of our crew who's away, yet he finds the time to make himself available to us. And he's on vacation in Florida, but he's still here. So let's get him into the stage here.
Oh my!
What's up, guys?
Introduce yourself.
What's up? I'm actually in the think tank tonight. Look at this, huh?
Now, if you're not watching us, I gotta say, joining us from Florida is one Eric Fink, who is the Hoagie Prince, as we said last time, and you know, Fink is in Florida. He's in a hot tub. He's literally in the Fink tank. Fink, how are things going down there in Florida for you, buddy? You look very comfortable.
I'm not complaining, I'll tell you that. I'm having a great time down here right now.
Evan's just off camera holding in a plugged-in toaster.
He's literally in a hot tub, folks.
I'm waiting for the right moment.
Whoops.
Literally in the hot tub. Fink, thanks for joining us. Over at the Goodheart Bar, we got our man, Mark Goodheart.
What a coincidence.
What's up, gentlemen?
And I just want to say he's paying homage to Kelce with the jersey, which we love. He does have the Kelce fanatic picture in the back, although the fluorescent light glare is killing him on that. But we did relocate the bar.
I tried to get rid of the lights, Mark.
Got the underdog hat.
Yeah, I don't mean to interrupt you. I see my guy Brad Moran in the comments.
Radical Squirrel.
If I sewed a custom captain patch on this Kelce jersey. I didn't. My son ordered it off eBay. It's just like you just stick it on there. It's pretty cool though.
Well, Brad wouldn't know anything about that because he gets all his jerseys in China.
This is my son's jersey. I borrowed it for tonight,
Brad,
in honor of Jason Kelce.
Radical Squirrel. You can't get that from China, buddy. Sorry.
And happy belated birthday to Tom Henneman.
Yeah, it was Tom Henneman's birthday today. Happy birthday, Tommy.
Thank you. Yesterday.
Yeah, baby. Yeah, baby. Okay. So wait, let's go back to Mark. Mark, you're good over there. I know we relocated the bar and it doesn't say Goodheart Firm Bar behind you anymore, and that's on us. But you got to get somebody to fix it. That's up to you.
We're working on that. We are working.
By the way, Devin chiming in. Guys, if this pod goes long, Eric might pass out. Godspeed.
he's boiling now, like a.
I don't want. This is going to sound terrible, and I don't mean it this way. Okay, I don't mean it this way. But Dev, you should get in the hot tub, and we should be able to get Fink and Dev from Florida. That sounds terrible, but I'm going to stop right there.
Sounds horrible.
Stop right there.
Just,
I meant for the comment.
That's a premium price the fans have to pay. You can subscribe at this link that I'm going to post next.
Fink, do you have an Eagles headband on?
He's actually been
yes,
in
I
that
do.
Since like 3 o'clock this afternoon. It doesn't affect him.
It's for my boy
Beautiful.
Jason Kelce.
Hey, everybody is paying homage to Kelce as they should. Okay, let's go to our guy here. He's joining us. He's making himself available prior to the playoff game.
Right before the playoffs.
I don't
wouldn't
even
talk
know
to anybody right before a playoff
I think
game.
he's still a part of this, but he's doing press availability. We got Rocky B-Ball from the Kaiserman JCC. Rock, how we feeling, buddy?
Feeling all right. I'm feeling good. I'm feeling ready to play. So,
How many are you
This
dropping
is all
tonight,
everyone
Rock?
wants to know right off the bat. What's the over-under tonight?
probably about 12, 13 tonight. I'm just trying to get this W.
Under.
So I gotta do whatever I need
it's a
to do to
team
get the
game
W.
tonight. It's the
Okay,
playoffs.
can I just say something? All right, I want to point something out because what happened last week is Rocky came on and said that his team had a game plan where he was going to be a facilitator, and I could go back and find the quotes. He said he needs to be more of a gunner, and so he was going to come out gunning, but now he's saying, 12, 13, we got to do what it takes to get the win. This guy's all over the place. I mean, somebody has to hold him accountable.
Listen,
That's all I'm saying.
Listen.
Last week was 9.5, and he went under. So
Yeah,
Go ahead.
Last week was regular season. This week is the playoffs. So I got to do what I got to do to get the W.
Look at him. He's shouting people out. Hey, say hi, everybody. What's you,
Yo,
man?
I got a
Wait till
question.
it ends.
I got a question for Fink down there in the hot tub. Where did you fly into?
Fort Lauderdale?
Did you have issues getting in on Sunday? Because we were delayed like 6 hours getting out of there on Sunday.
Can I ask you a
Can I see a
question?
private text
How,
message?
who
Like,
the hell cares about what airport you two flew into and whether you had delays?
you should have texted about this on Tuesday or something.
I'm just curious.
That's
We flew to
relevant
Fort
conversation
Myers.
today.
Fort Myers. I lied to you, Rock. Sorry, Fort
He
Myers.
doesn't even know where he is. Anyway, what y'all
And
want,
we
yeah?
were delayed. We were delayed 15 minutes.
Listen, back to the matter at hand. I think we just
Riveting conversation.
we pretty
between
much
two.
are going to dedicate this episode to Kelce because, him retiring, we knew was going to be a big moment, and the way he handled it, as with everything he's done, tremendous. I've never seen anyone who has an innate sense for the way people will react to things. I mean, he's one of the smartest, got best sense of humor of a player I think I've ever seen. Like the most relatable guy of all time, and the way he handled the retirement was amazing. And I know everybody has a lot of comments on this, and we are going to be joined at some point by Connor Barwin, who is one of Jason's best friends. Played with him back in Cincinnati, played with him in the NFL. Recently did the Kelce documentary with him. So that's going to be fascinating. Can't wait for that. But I figure we just go around and give a couple quick sentiments about it before Connor jumps on. And Meech, I know you were thinking about this all week, so you go ahead.
Yeah, you know what? I really love Jason Kelce. He's incredible, and he's so unique in the sense that if you like, for instance, the Eagles put out a tweet earlier this week, and it said, "What was your favorite Jason Kelce moment?" I think there was like 293 replies to the tweet. There wasn't one reply that mentioned anything that had to do with a play during a game. Like the guy has his top 5 moments are all off the field. Now it's easy because he's an offensive lineman, and the only time they get noticed is when they commit a holding, offsides, penalty, or give up a sack. But it's just incredible that he was able to gain this height of popularity just being an offensive lineman. The speeches
the
he
most
made,
famous center in the history of the game.
yeah, like others like I said before on the show, like Dermontti Dawson from Pittsburgh, Jeff Saturday from the Colts. Those are just I'm not watching offensive linemen when I'm a
Kelce?
very
But you know what? I will say this.
beginner.
You got a point.
Watcher of football.
You got a point. And we were talking about this earlier. For Kelce, he doesn't have like the touchdown catch that Lane had, right? Couple offensive linemen have those like moments that you remember. But I will say, Kelce, unlike most linemen up to that time, he started creating highlights for linemen.
Right.
In other words, they would start highlighting the fact that this dude was pulling like a freight train, coming around, hitting like 3 people at a time. And,
But that's for the hardcore football fan. Like for the average fan, there's nothing on field that they can relate to because you watch the snap of the ball and then you watch the movement of the ball. You can say any player in Eagles history, you can have moments on the field that you relate to. for Kelce, it's just how awesome of a guy he was, which is so rare. And I mean, there's probably no other way you could even overcome that, because every position in every other sport requires some sort of stat. Even if you're on the defensive line in football, you record sacks and you can put something on the board. Offensive lineman, there's nothing except for the guy played 156
Well, then you have to do what
games
he did. You have to
nine.
Go ahead, Tommy.
30. You have to be 30 yards down the field, pancaking 3 different defenders along the way, and that's what separated him, and that's what made him so special.
Well, and that was my point, is that he brought attention to, you had a time period where like D linemen were getting like crazy athletic, right? Like a total transition where these guys are just monsters.
Davian Clowney.
And with Kelce, it was like all of a sudden the highlights were of him, and your attention was drawn to the fact that he was moving in a way that was unlike any lineman you'd ever seen.
Unreal.
So in that respect, he was creating highlights, that were like position players, so it was
But if Jason Kelce was a timid dude who had no personality, say he was like Anthony Munoz or Tony Baselli, just a stoic offensive lineman who just went out there and did their job, he would not have the same impact on fans
who he would have
and the
been?
City of Philadelphia.
He would have been John Runyon.
Yeah,
He would have been John Runyon.
Right. A Hall of Fame lineman who just went about his business and did his thing.
Right.
What
Or
makes
Lane
him
Johnson.
what makes him so unique is he's pretty much like probably about 70% of the white male population of Philadelphia can relate to him in some way, shape. Either they look like him, they drink like him, they're crazy like. I mean, he is so relatable.
Can I say this? I was thinking about the things about Kelce that I thought were special, and he kind of made it like, I don't want to call it dad bod, because he's got like offensive lineman bod. It's like next level. But like him starting to wear the belly out a little, I think made a lot of us feel better about our personal situation. Now, you're not going to find me out there in like a crop top, working out like with my belly out per se. But like just watching him do what he's done, the fashion, everything he does, it just says to people like, it's okay, man. It's okay. Like you're still like, you're big, you're a beast. You might not be like no six pack, but you can still kick ass. You might not be a football player, but we lived through him in a variety of ways. And so at this time, though, I want to bring somebody in who knows this guy better. We're all just sitting here, talking kind of out our asses on this situation. And we got our man, Connor Barwin, in the house. Yo, Connor, can you hear us? Can we hear you? What's up?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes.
We hear you, Connor.
can
What's
hear
up,
you.
my man?
No.
CB,
You got me.
brother.
Okay.
Yo, are you on
What's
the
up,
iPad,
guys?
dude?
Good to be back on the show for my second time.
Yeah,
Happy to
I
be
know.
back.
This is
Yeah.
third time.
Yeah, you're the first third-time guest of the City Pigeons podcast.
Impressive.
That's amazing.
Oh,
It's
God, the
amazing.
second time I don't really remember, but it's good to be back the third time.
Yeah.
I wasn't
Hey,
gonna,
can I
wasn't
just
gonna
say
I think
that.
you were edited out of that one, so I don't know if it counts.
Yeah. Yo, CB, are you on the iPad?
I'm on my phone.
you-
Should I get on my iPad?
No, can you just turn it so that it'll fill the square? You see what I mean? Watch this. Bang.
Bang.
There we go. Look at that. 4 squares,
Okay.
Hollywood squares. All right. So, Connor, we love you, obviously. Thank you for doing this. I know, I'm guessing, have you been getting a lot of requests to talk to people about Kelce? I'm guessing you have, right?
Yeah, I've gotten a few. Yeah. Yep.
Can you hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you now. I think there's
Can you hear me now?
a delay.
Okay. I was just going to say, this is probably the only media that you did, though, right?
Yeah, I mean, I don't really do very much media anymore. I mean, obviously, in my role with the Eagles, I don't really like to talk about the team. But obviously,
Right.
for you guys and talking about my buddy, I'm excited to talk about him.
Amazing. Amazing. So, honestly, for you, this goes back to like Cincinnati, right? And I think everyone we've heard so much we've seen certain aspects of Kelce's career because he's been on the Eagles, but like you knew this guy back in college. And I can only imagine what I would love to hear from you is like your first impression when you met this guy, at Cincinnati, at which point I think maybe he was a walk-on, but like that's fascinating to me to understand what it was like meeting him back then.
Yeah, if anybody saw the film, I mean, I think I said on there, I can distinctly remember him at one of our first training camp practices in higher ground. So if you go to UC, you go off to like the woods and you do training camp. And Kelce shows up and he's playing Mike linebacker. You don't really know who he is because I think I was a year older and he was a walk-on. But I don't know if it was the first day or the second day, but everybody knew who he was pretty quickly because he was just like a wrecking ball. And I remember he wasn't really making tackles, but he was so violent and aggressive, almost violently and aggressively missing tackles that it caught everybody's attention. And like he did not care at all. He was playing so hard from the very first snap. And then I'll always have this Rudy thing in my head because he wore, and you kind of joke with him now, but he wore like a lot of arm pads. He had like his fingers taped and the uniform was sort of not fitting right because he was a walk-on, but he wore like elbow pads. Maybe he wore forearm pads. And then he had tape like falling off because he was obviously like sweating profusely because he was practicing so hard. But I just remember that image, like this is like the real life Rudy. And then fast forward, college, the next sort of image that I have in my brain of him in college was when he moved, it was a year or two later, they moved him to center. And by that time we knew how athletic he was, but they moved him to center. And then I just remember this like gross process of him gaining 30, 40, 50 pounds, which, Kelce, I heard you talking before, he sort of like has come into this dad bod. He's kind of big, but like it works for him. It looks pretty good. But man, when he first went from like 230 to 280, it did not look good. And he would just eat so much pizza. He just ate so much junk food because he was so committed to getting his weight up. But that's like the next image I have of him just like crushing pizza and wings and fast food and his apartment being a mess.
But I got to ask you this because the football side of it, amazing. But I'm interested in the social side as well because, we saw him recently taking off the shirt. And I think most of us were just kind of guessing he just wanted to like experience Bill's Mafia, which was cool. Like I would do the same thing. Like if I was up there, I want to go in the parking lot, experience it. Maybe it got away from a little bit either way, but like in college, like what was it like? I assume you were, hanging with him on the weekends. That had to be.
Yeah. I would say, in college, I mean, he was like everybody else in college, he was just one of the guys. I mean, he's known for everybody that know him. What he's really known for in college was just how messy he was. Like, and that's true at his locker at the Eagles facility now. I mean, it's a mess. His first apartment in Old City was a mess. I mean, we would go over there and like, he'd get paid $1,000 for this or $5,000 for this, and like you would like find it literally underneath the couch because he wasn't paying attention to where anything was. Just a total mess. And in college, it was even worse. So like his apartment, his bedroom was really, pretty gross. But as far as like partying, he was just like the rest of us, man. He had fun in college. He had some nights that maybe went too far, but that happens to everybody. But pretty sort of normal as far as that goes.
Now, when he was in Cincinnati, do you know if he ever took any like public speaking classes? Because he's goddamn good at that. Like that has to be like, it's a skill, but it has to be somewhat learned. You have to know how to structure a speech. He's like almost professional at it.
Well, I mean, I sat in the auditorium and listened to that 48-minute retirement speech, and I
saw you standing next to Big Dom.
I've been impressed for a long time. Like just talking to him, and he'll say something that just hits me, or speeches or talks that I've heard him made. But that speech he did for 48 minutes, I mean, that was like a master class. I mean, if you really think
it was unbelievable.
I mean, the stories, the structure, everything was so brilliant. And I've always known he's smart, but he continues to impress. A funny story about him in college is, I think one semester he might have had like a 1.2 or something. His GPA almost like got kicked out of school because his GPA was so bad. But it was just because he wasn't taking classes he wanted. And he just decided like he wasn't going to class that semester. But literally because he was just committed the next semester, he got like a 4.0. So he's that kind of guy. Like as soon as he focuses on something, he's absolutely going to be the best at it. And I remember back in college, I was like, oh, you almost flunked out of school, and then the next semester you got a 4.0. Awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, I did a quote his mom said this week, stuck with me. She said, Jason's the kind of guy where if you tell him, Jason, the only way he'll do something is if you tell him he can't do it. He'll just find a way to get it done. He's that kind of resilient.
Yeah, no,
that's crazy because that doesn't even work on my son anymore. You know what I mean?
But he does. He's sort of frustrating as a friend sometimes. And Jesse, you may know this from just us hanging with him, but if you play any game with him, card game, beer drinking game, board game, the dude wins everything. Like he really wins everything. And as a friend that sometimes plays those games, beer chugging, like it gets really frustrating. Like I don't want to play any more games with you, dude. Like I don't want to play.
So Connor, that reminds me of one of my great kind of Jason Kelce stories, and this was when it was after one of the concerts we had back when you were living on Delancey Street in what was a very nice downtown brownstone-ish type place, and we were at the top floor. We were playing that game, and I gotta get you in here because what's the game where you put the beer cans and you throw the ping? I didn't love it. Like the whole game doesn't make sense to me. You throw the ping pong ball at the beer can, and then you got to run and get the beer.
Beer ball. We call it beer ball. Yeah, it's the best. Great game.
Like you literally, it's the most hectic game of all time. You try to hit a beer can with a ping pong ball, and then wherever that ball goes, you have to run and get it, right? And the other teammate is drinking until you bring it back and put it down, right?
Ooh, am
I getting that right?
Yeah, it literally, like you flip the rules of most drinking games where you're like not trying to drink. The winner is you throw it's 2 beers on each side of a ping pong table. You take a ping pong ball. Me and Kelce are teammates. I whip it at the 2 cans. If it connects with the can, it ricochets off. The 2 people we're playing, they have to get it. And while they are tracking down the ping pong ball, if I threw, then Kelce opens the can and is chugging the beer while Jesse tries to run down and get the ping pong. And so he's racing. As soon as he grabs it, puts it on the table, Jason has to stop drinking. So it's like this athletic, chugging, very competitive game. Gets wild. We started playing that in college.
Yeah, so we're playing this game at Connor's house in Delancey Street after the benefit concert. And there's like the craziest collection of people that came. I mean, Amos Lee and, all these people are there. And it's just wild. And it's me, Kelce, Connor, and my boy Jeff Tubbs. Shout out Jeff Tubbs, L-Town Construction in the house. And all I remember from that situation is, do you remember there was like at least maybe an inch to an inch and a half of beer on the floor in the top, like
style.
And like,
Great.
If I recall correctly, this was not the finest moment when it comes to Laura and your approval ratings. But I just remember being that moment, like he was going so hard. People were flying around the room and I was like, this is crazy. This is like, something's going to go terribly wrong here.
Yeah. I remember that. I remember the it was a brand new, really nice house and there should not have been an inch of beer on the floor. But that's to playing games with Kelce. What I do love about playing games with him like that is it's not cheating, but he will find, and I like this because I try to think the same way, he will find every possible edge to win a game. And me and him have our sort of some tricks we've learned over time with that game in particular. But he's going to find every sort of way he can.
Baller's ball.
Well, if you think about it, it's kind of like the tush push, man, where he's like, I'm just going to get lower than everybody. Like, you're not, I got you. Like, he figures it out.
Well, it's amazing. The tush push is really just his whole career, what he's done with the ball. I mean, he got called this year for it, but he has been moving that ball up for like 10 years. And to do that in the National Football League for 10 years is pretty slick, that he got away with it for that long.
Unbelievable.
That's our guy.
Nah, dude, the greatest ever. Obviously, for us as Philadelphia fans, and Connor, you've been here long enough now, you know what it's like. It's wild. I mean, I never thought B-Dog for us was always like that animal killer instinct, like everything we wanted in a football player. But to have a guy like Jason come along that, you know, does that on the field, but then like connects in a way where he just like humanizes himself. It's just been unbelievable. And I was saying earlier, he seems to me like the combination of smarts and sense of humor. Like he seems to just really get what, because like we as a fan base, there is
self-awareness.
Yeah, there's like a comedic
part.
value at this point to like who we are as fans and the discourse that goes on. He just seems to really understand that. And I got to imagine like you being around him, you've seen this tenfold, right? Of him, his sense of humor playing out and just, you know, hysterical moments. I mean, maybe during the documentary is a perfect example, like shooting that with him. You've seen this firsthand. So, you know, like his sense of humor seems really unbelievable.
Well, again, I think you guys said it. I mean, he's self-aware. He's a wicked smart, but he doesn't doesn't show everybody or say it that he's so smart. I feel, you know, lucky to have known him. I feel like the rest of Philadelphia, lucky that, you know, I got to be here and now I live. This is home for me with him and what he's done in his career. Yeah, it's been unbelievable. I can tell you the thing that has at times been sometimes frustrating for me, but not really. But you talk about him knowing fans or knowing, you know, the city. I mean, even as he has sort of become this mega celebrity the last few years, and Jesse, you guys have all seen this being out with him. Like he will stop and talk to almost anybody that will talk to him. And, you know, this has been going on since I got here 10 years ago. And he'll talk for so long to anybody. If it's an engaging conversation, he'll sit there and talk to any fan for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 20 minutes. I don't know how Kylie still deals with it. But that's who he is. He loves listening to people. He loves talking to people. It's pretty amazing to watch.
As you talk about it, it's crazy because I have firsthand experience this phenomenon because my dad was the exact same way, right? Like we would literally be walking down the street, you know, let's go back 1990s, we're walking down the street and I would get pissed off. I'd be like, we can't go anywhere. Like we have to go at a certain point, but he would talk to everybody. And, you know, it's funny. I just feel like I haven't thought about this honestly, in terms of there being an analogy between my dad and Jason, but the truth is when you say like what you honestly feel, right? And you react as your true self and you give everybody, you know, time and you make it clear that everything actually does matter to you, then, you know, the city will embrace you. And it's interesting because I didn't even think about that. But now that you say that, I'm thinking about it 100% because there's a clear,
I mean, listen, I go out to dinner. I go out to dinner with him. We still go out to bars, and it's no different today. I mean, now some people are with him, and we just got to move them. But like, you know, it's still if they're not around him from, you know, last week till 5 years ago. And when I was playing, I want to connect, talk to fans and everything, and be courteous, and I'll do it. But he is like, it's at a different level. I mean, I'm like, Jason, we got to go. Hey, we got to go, and you're just like pulling him out of these places. But he just loves, like you said,
Jason, you don't need to take your shirt off. Your shirt. You don't need to take your shirt off here. Anyway, one really good example of this, Connor, was last year during the pickleball tournament, which, by the way, we're planning the seeds for. It's going to be happening again this summer down Sea Isle. It's going to be very limited amount of teams. Mark, I see you looking over there. You're going to want to get your team secured. And guess what? The price is going up, buddy. The price is going up.
Hey, Jesse, I'm going out to dinner tomorrow night with Bo Allen and Nick Foles, two big pickleballers. I'm going to try to get them to come to Sea Isle. Haven't talked to him about it, but I know big pickleballers.
On the tribute video to Jason challenging him to pickleball and his on the podcast.
Listen, Connor, here's the deal. You remember last year, the culminating moment of the pickleball was Connor and Laura Barwin against Jason and Kylie Kelce. Okay. Now that I didn't think that was just
clash of the Titans.
Yeah, that was
right
as
there.
cool as it could be. But like, if you can get Nick Foles up in there, like, let's go. Let's blow this thing out. But my point was this. You know, we were at that event. We weren't sure if Jason was going to come. He's got a lot of stuff going on, and his star was growing bigger than ever. And, you know, lo and behold, shows up. And I'm like, I'm so glad he's here. Everyone's so psyched he's there. The thing started at 12 o'clock, right? Everybody's playing pickleball. Next thing you know, we're at the after party. I mean, he's having like countless Miller Lights. I look over and I see all my friends that came to support this event. And like one by one, they're all having like real conversations with him, like one by one. He must have stayed. He was a part of this event for probably 7 or 8 hours. And it's funny because it reminds my dad. I think he genuinely likes people. He genuinely likes talking to people. And he realizes his life is tremendous and he has the ability to affect people's lives. And so just do it. And like the concert this summer, he came, he was on the podcast. He stayed for the entire concert. Like he loves living life, and that's why we really, love him back for that.
Yeah, I think Jesse, I think that's the pickleball last year is really sort of exemplifies him. Like he shows up, he was there for 8 hours, right? And if he had other stuff to do, but he was like connecting with the people who were there, he was enjoying it. And he I think like you said, he understands the effect it has on people. So yeah, that's exactly who he is.
And here's a little testament to Jason Kelce. I saw not like a Twitter poll has any bearing on anything, but it said, "Is Jason Kelce your favorite Philadelphia athlete ever?" And 55% said yes. And I bet you of those 55%, like maybe 1% could name 5 plays that he's made in his entire career. Like to think that highly of a guy who is basically just an unheralded
who's not a quarterback, not a wide receiver.
You don't get any accolades from
right.
just blocking everybody and
we're not seeing him in the end
snapping
zone.
the ball correctly.
I heard
80 times a game. You don't usually get noticed for that.
Did you know
55% to say he's their favorite Philadelphia athlete of all time is nuts. It's nuts.
The GOAT Ray Diddy was on the radio
he
today.
said he wouldn't even put him top 4,
well,
which is bullshit.
No,
because he put Reggie White in there, and Reggie White left us for Green Bay.
I know, but Diddy skews the older guys. Like I couldn't tell you how good Chuck Bednarik was, but he can, and that's okay. But he did say only 9 centers in the history of football have made the Pro Football Hall of Fame, right? So, obviously these aren't
name them other than Dermontti Dawson.
Not
name another one.
Right, Jeff Saturday,
Mike Webster. All right,
well, Bednarik was a center.
I got nothing.
Kelce's better than all of them.
All right,
and he's more.
Yeah, we don't want to
to
bore you anymore, Connor.
Yeah, Connor. Hey,
thanks
listen,
for coming on, dude. We love you, man.
I'm not done with them yet. Thank you for coming on. We appreciate you. But I want to find out real quick. I want people to understand because I don't think people understand exactly, and I have a hard time articulating this myself. I think I understand. Kind of what you do on a day-to-day basis. But I know you just got back from the combine. You're down there. You're watching guys. You're doing your thing. Like what? Just explain to people on a day-to-day basis, like how you're impacting the franchise. Because I think people are very curious. Everybody knows you're a great guy in the community and you do wonderful things, and we thank you for that. But we see you on the sidelines, and we're always wondering, what exactly you're up to on a day-to-day basis. I know it sounds like you're busy as hell, and you're constantly working to make the Eagles better, and we love you for that.
Yeah, it's a secret operation we have going down there in Philly. But yeah, I at a high level, I mean, I run player development for the Eagles with a major focus on our young guys. In some ways, I'm sort of a bridge, a connecting piece between all the different departments to make sure all our guys are getting better and everybody's collaborating and working together. In season, that's a lot working with the coaches and the young guys that are there. In the off season, it's working on sort of off season plans. It's a lot of scouting. It's putting in processes for the season. It's onboarding our rookies the right way so they understand what it means to come to Philly and how great it is to play for this city. Jason gave us a lot of good stuff to use with his speech a couple days ago. So yeah, I love doing it. I get to think sort of strategically, but also get to think and be close to players and sort of see things how coaches think. So I feel very lucky to be in Philly. Obviously, again, as Jason said, the end of last year sucked a lot, but we're working hard now to get this thing corrected.
Well, all this enthusiasm around Jason's retirement, I got my Eagles hat back out. My gear was kind of off the side for a little. I wasn't really ready, but now I'm ready. I'm back.
Out of the back of the closet.
Yeah, we're back, and
away for the summer.
We're going to be watching free agency, the draft. We're back in. We're all in. Let's go. Do you think we should go figure out a way to get down to Brazil. What's your thoughts on that? That could be interesting.
You guys
right?
you should definitely get down to Brazil. That's going to be wild. I can't wait. I love the international games. I played in one when I was playing in LA. It was freaking awesome. And then I know the Eagles went, I think, a couple of years later, and everybody
Was that in Mexico City?
it's in some ways it's
London?
an inconvenience, but when you just do it one time, it's really fun for everybody involved. And I think the Eagles and the fans and people down there had a good time when they did it a couple of years ago.
All right, dude. Hey, thank you so much for doing this. And last question. Okay, I need one last question. You have cooked up some fantastic things with Jason. Okay, Christmas record, documentary. You don't have to tell me, but are you working on? Are there some? You guys got to be throwing some ideas around. There's got to be some cool shit coming down the pike, right?
Yeah, really cool stuff coming down the pipe. Really cool. Very excited about it. Jason's some of it. I mean, there's stuff me and him are working on specifically that I'm super excited about. And then obviously he's got all kinds of stuff that he's working on that is going to be awesome.
Rap album? I'm sorry.
Can't talk about it.
All right. Well, listen, I know you're too busy to start a podcast, but if you ever watch Jason and you're envious and you want to get your podcast on,
We got space.
we're here for you. Okay. Just
Hey,
come through.
I need to come. I need to come check out the coop. I'm very excited to come check out the coop. You guys are doing a great job. Seriously, thanks for having me on. I think it's awesome what you guys
You're
are
the
all
man,
doing.
Connor. Thanks again.
Check out. We have a kegerator. Just
Appreciate
putting that
it.
out there. Okay. Thank you, buddy.
See you guys.
Have a
Thank
great
you.
night. Thanks for joining us. Wow.
What a guy.
So good. I don't know where we go from there. Whew, thank you. I just want to say there's 164
Oh, wait,
people
real
watching
quick.
this. Oh, is this the chili bets?
Yeah, I put
Okay,
it out,
real
put it
quick.
out on Twitter
Okay.
already.
All right.
But it just came out. It's for the Sixers game. I want everyone in on the Sixers game.
Oh.
Think I got you in on already. All right? I put you in.
I appreciate you.
Real quick, under 229.5 points. This is in the Sixers-Memphis game. Vince Williams Jr. to score 15 points. He's got 10 already. Buddy Hield to score 15. He's got 9 already. Jaren Jackson Jr. to score 25. He's got 12 already. It's 64-56 at halftime. These are plus 863 odds.
Wait, run that back just with the bets. None of the commentary.
Under 229.5 points. Vince Williams Jr., 15 points. Buddy Hield, 15 points. Jaren Jackson Jr., 25 points. Check out the City Pigeons Twitter. There's a link where if you go to the link, you scroll down and you click Open FanDuel, and it'll automatically populate. I put a picture of the bet. Let's go. We're gonna hit
All
that
right.
one, and
Here's
then we
the
got
deal.
another
Wait,
one.
real quick. Okay, give the other one. Just get them
Well,
out
no,
there.
I don't know if we have the other one yet. Let me check.
Okay. I need you. Somebody needs to put in twice the amount they were gonna bet, and half it's for me because I cannot manage putting these bets in, and I do not want to not make the money. So, Mark, if you're putting them in, Mark looks deep in the mix.
I'm
Double it
so
up.
proud of myself, but Meech is even more proud of me. I figured out how to click the link and populate the bet.
Hell yeah, dude!
It's
Let's
a new
go.
frontier at the Good Heart Bar.
New
You know, we're
frontier.
Jesse,
doubling up on the
Jesse, I
Sixers ones.
put
This
the
is
bet in for you.
Did you?
I put it in for you for $15,000. Just send it to my Venmo, and we'll be good.
Funny. We already found out that you're in Florida, so you're prohibited from betting, dude. Sorry.
Oh man,
Talk to DeSantis or whatever the frick is handling shit down
Should
there.
we do another one or
Shithead
just
is
do
what
a
his name
double up on the Sixers?
Listen, we should
Meech,
give
am I in the right
people,
one? Plus 863.
Okay, we should give the people that have been paying attention here a solid group of people. Thank you guys so much for checking this out. And let me ask you this favor: if you're here for the chili bets, no problem. Bonus Connor borrowing content on Jason Kelce. You're not going to find that anywhere else. Please do tune in to the City Pigeons podcast. And let me ask you a favor. Head over to YouTube. Please subscribe. Okay. I need to get the subscriber count up because my kids, right? They watch all these YouTube people who have millions of subscribers. I'm like, Dad, what's up with your YouTube subscribers? I'm like,
Yeah,
why are you
my
coming at
kids
me?
give me
No.
the same.
yeah, so
Clowned
come
by our
on,
own.
please just go over there, make up a fake account. I don't care. Subscribe, whatever you got to do. I need to get those subscribers. All right. That is a humble plea.
My kids act like I didn't win Best of Philly.
Right.
Well, we didn't. We got top
Hey, me
42
too.
podcasts.
Yeah.
We need to get best of Philly
And
podcast.
Fink.
we won a
Okay.
Grammy. What
Yeah,
else
that's
do you guys
really-
want?
I'm sure your dad won one,
Oh,
so
shit.
it's in the bloodline.
Yeah, definitely. I don't know if there's a best mayor
That's
award.
a
Maybe
best
got
of
it.
Philly right
my
there.
nipples-
Fink,
are
can I
my
ask you a
nipples
question
out?
real quick? Fink, I need to ask you a question.
Yeah.
Like, how is your skin right now? I mean, you've been in there at least 40 minutes.
for
I'm
those
gonna
that
be
are
honest,
watching and those that are just listening,
What's the
now,
temperature?
Fink's in Florida. In a hot
the temperature is 104 in here, and I'm getting really hot.
Yo, start
like,
cutting up
boiling, like,
carrots and shit like the old Bugs Bunny cartoons when they get into the scalding hot
That's
tub.
what it feels
What if we
like. I'm
came back to
struggling,
Fink?
but
Make a Fink soup in there.
We came back to Fink and he's just floating underneath the water.
I just put out the
I'm-
longer long
okay, here we
shot.
go. Here we go.
I'm
Hold
gonna
on.
hold
You
on.
ready? Hold on. Here we go. Let's get it out there for the peeps.
It's the same under 229.5. Buddy Hield to score 15 again. Luke Kennard to score 20. He's got 8. And Kelly Oubre to score 20. He's got 15. That's plus 68.18. Much higher odds. So
Meech, you better put the
we're
10 on that
going
for
out
me,
with
too.
2 Sixers bets. It's a close game. They should keep all these guys in. Sixers are shorthand.
And here's the thing.
We're going to hit tonight.
Here's the
Let's
thing
go,
about
Chili.
the chili bets, right? With the negative correlation. Look, even the guys who are predicting regular bets are not hitting all the time, right?
Correct.
We know that. But with chili bets, because the odds are so high, you can put 15, 20 bucks down.
Listen, we're going to put these
Mhm.
out every Wednesday. And if you hit one a month, you're way ahead.
And
All right.
before you know it, it's going to be like, just call into the recorded line and I'll give you the special of the week.
Stu Finer.
Oh my God. No, seriously. Thank you. Chili Bets. Our partnership is evolving and we love you. Meech, thank you for facilitating this. We are looking forward to partnering with Chili Bets and getting these bets out there for the public. We want everybody to make some cash.
And then subscribe to
let's go.
Chili Bets after you win. You
Discord.
reinvest that back, and you could hit these every night, not just one.
Bang. And Brad, Radical Squirrel's down there. He's in the Caribbean, and he's saying he's been waiting all night for the chili bet, but he can't place a bet down there. So
Caribbean,
unless he's got a new guy.
Caribbean or Caribbean? Is
Yo.
that the new Roosevelt?
Yeah. it
in
is.
case you were wondering, even if you're flying
Pirates
over
of
a
the
state
Caribbean?
that allows betting like North Carolina, if you're connected to plain Wi-Fi, you are not allowed to place live bet from a Sixers game.
Did your voice just crack?
I think that he's been in there too.
you know,
I don't like to place live.
I'm not.
I think
I might not make it to 9. I don't think I can make it. It's getting hot in here. You guys hot over there? Whew.
I'm feeling bullish about City Pigeons right now because not only do we have, former Pro Bowlers jumping in to give us firsthand commentary on, the greatest Eagle potentially of all time retiring. We got guys in hot tubs, like straight from hot tubs. Who else is
We might
giving you
die.
that?
Yeah, we're for this is for straight people, for gay people. You
It
like
doesn't
guys
matter.
in hot tubs? Listen
Yeah.
to watch the City Pigeons podcast.
No comment on Meek
maybe
Mill.
by like episode 80, we could all be in a hot tub and record.
That's a goal.
Well, and
That's
as
a
I said
goal.
earlier, because of Jason Kelce, I'd feel more comfortable in that hot tub because my belly would be protruding a little.
You know what I felt bad at? Like at a certain point, I was thinking, we're talking to Connor Barwin, who's a very respected, decorated professional athlete, and all we're doing is ask him about his old teammate.
Yeah.
Boy, though,
I get it.
knows
He
it.
understands
Yeah.
And
but-
Connor's like,
Yeah.
he's on the professional thing, and I respect that.
Yeah, it's great that we have that relationship. Otherwise, it would be
Although
like,
he did beat the shit out of me that night that we were drinking down the shore, if you recall correctly.
Yeah, I recall
Yeah,
that.
that was painful.
Oh, wait,
But,
squirrel.
You and everyone
Love the
else.
Brad, you definitely still owe me money, dude. I should have thought of that the other day when I paid you. Okay. So I want to move on because we talked this episode is losing all our dogs, right? We've been losing dogs. We just lost our hungry dog and we lost our dollar dog night. And I wanted to check in with all you guys because I understand it. Don't get me wrong, but sometimes in Philly, I think we latch on to something for the sake of making it like a Philly thing.
Right.
And I just
Wrong.
wonder in this instance.
I don't think
Are we
Dollar
a
Dog
little-
Night is a Philadelphia thing.
No, but I'm just saying, like being super pissed off about it is like a Philly
Yeah,
thing.
that's
Do
definitely.
you know what I mean?
Philly.
Like
We should
there's
be
no-
super pissed off.
All right, hold on. I want you to get on your soapbox. Maybe you should stand up out of the hot tub a little.
I
Here we
was
go.
gonna say it. I wanted him to
Oh
stand
shit!
up.
No, I accidentally removed them. Hold on. Here we go. Go ahead, Fink.
I'm not wearing anything in here at the hot tub,
Stand up. We
so
can't hear you.
that's why I don't want to stand up.
Got it.
What you guys
These
don't
new-
get about Dollar Dog is it's what they're taking from us. It's been a 27-year tradition. They asked us to come fill the stadium up with Dollar Dogs because they needed us in the seats because they weren't doing so well. And guess what we did? We showed up
Great
every
point.
Dollar Dog night fistful of dollar dogs. We showed our support. Dark days, we're out there with dollar dogs. We're stuffing our mouths with them. And then you have one small incident. Are you guys laughing because I'm in a hot tub giving this speech?
I mean, you're being
Keep
so
going. It's
serious from the
amazing.
hot tub. It's,
I'm very serious because I'm pissed off about it. And then you see the team sees a little bit of success, and guess what? They take that away from us because why? One section
Right.
had some hot dogs thrown. Someone might have got hit with a hot dog. Like, grow the fuck up. It's a hot dog. Things happen. There's worse things that can happen in life. And it's not a cost thing because maybe a famous hoagie shop in the Northeast is doing a dollar dog night and we got costs and it's under 47 cents per hot dog. So don't give me that price inflation bullshit. They did this mostly because they hate the fans and they think they're better than us now. That's the reason why they took dollar dog away. And you guys sit here and like laugh and you're like, oh, well, it got a little outrageous. Like, people were throwing I'll throw $2.50 hot dog. I don't give a shit.
You're putting words. All right, hold on real quick.
Can I counterpoint?
No,
yes.
if you're against me, it
Hold on.
stinks. I don't want to hear it. Okay, go ahead, Mark.
Yeah, I like this. Counterpoint. Go.
I read the article on Philly.com and they're interviewing people and everyone's outraged. And they asked these guys who are like in their mid 30s and they're like, this guy's been to $3 dog nights in his life. And I'm like, how is this so monumental for these people? They're like outraged that something's being taken away. He's been to 3 games in his life for dollar dogs. Like, this is meaningless. I agree completely. This is just something for people to latch onto. There's nothing else to talk about. There's nothing else to get angry about.
Stand for something or
like,
fall
this is
for
not
everything.
like life's biggest problem. Like, move on.
Yeah, no, you can get angry about this and you can get angry about their new bag policy. There's tons of shit to get angry about. Listen, Dollar Dog Night wasn't about dollar dogs. It was about the vibe. It sends out a cool vibe. Lots of kids go down there. It's packed. It's a whole thing. And I don't know if you saw the Flyers the other night. They did a Dollar Dog Night, which I thought was beautiful and petty. But I mean, I don't think anyone even did any of you even know about it.
That's
so
beautiful,
it didn't work,
petty. I'm
saw it on
bummed
the
I
web.
missed it.
but it was really
did.
cool.
Okay,
and
Fink.
I know Fink's
No, they actually did get a good crowd.
Fink's
It actually did
Hoagies
work.
is doing a Dollar Dog Night. I mean, everybody's pretty much rubbing it in the faces of the Philadelphia Phillies. It's really a stupid thing to do. They should bring it back. It was a one-time thing last year where
Maybe
people got mad at the
pressure
game
them.
and just started throwing the
Okay.
dogs at each
Wendy's
other.
just
It happened
Anyway,
one time in 27 years. One time in 27 years.
Of course they are.
There are going to be some hot dogs thrown, but I wanted to, Tom, you're over here, making comments on the side, and being that you are, the most experienced food expert here, we're going to have to hear from you because you sound like you have an
Did you just call
opinion.
him fat?
I don't
Look at him. No,
in the old days.
no,
buddy.
I wouldn't. No. Okay.
Honestly, Meech nailed it. It was about fun for the fans, and I just don't see the benefit. Listen, if somebody loses an eye, that's all right. There's like 45,000 other people.
Well,
there,
tell that
right?
to the guy that lost
Those are
the
great
eye.
odds. I mean, if those are the odds you got, then that's all right.
I
The
think
fanatic shot someone in the face with a hot dog, and they didn't stop. They didn't stop the hot dog.
In Citizens Bank Park history is when the fanatic shot the hot dog launcher
That's
into
right.
a lady's
That's
eye
right.
and gave her a black eye. So
And they
should
never
ban the
stopped
hot dog
selling
launcher.
hot dogs.
And the fanatic.
Why don't you just ban anything that could possibly do harm to somebody?
Listen, I have no problem with Dollar Dog Night, but I'm definitely not up in arms over the fact that it was canceled. Like, and I will say this.
You know who's thrilled that it's canceled?
Who?
Everybody that's not a fan at that stadium. Every employee of
Oh, that's for
Aramark.
sure.
I
Well,
can
and by the way,
promise
that
you
seemed
they're
to be one
thrilled.
of the issues, right? That like the logistics of it just got stupid.
Yeah,
And
the lines got
when you get to the
crazy
point
the
where
past
people are buying like 20 hot dogs just so they can throw 15 of them, I mean, look,
You know why
I
the
love
lines
it.
got crazy? Because they stopped accepting cash at
Yep.
the stadiums, and the only place in Philadelphia you're not allowed to accept cash anymore is Citizens Bank Park, Wells Fargo, and the Link.
Classic.
What's up with that?
okay, Fink. But here's my question to you. Like nowadays with the technology that we have, okay, devil's advocate here, buddy. Apple Pay, tapping credit cards, I would say honestly, I can have a transaction more quickly with my credit card or my phone.
You're a liar.
If there's a 65-year-old guy in front of you who doesn't know how to do that shit, they hold back the line for everybody. You can.
I don't care
You're
about that
good
guy.
at it.
What if he gets
You
hit?
walk up.
That guy holds
You
up
walk
in the
up.
back.
You know you want 5 hot dogs and a
Hit in the
beer.
face with an aluminum foil covered hot dog.
I don't. But if he's going to hold me up for 10 minutes in the line because he doesn't know how to use Apple Pay, I want him the fuck out of there, or I want him to be able to use cash.
Mrs. Rock is in the chat, and she makes a really good point.
Other people. I know.
The
we're
canceling of Dollar Dog
on.
Night at CBP has spawned all of these other Dollar Dog Nights with probably better hot dogs. So maybe we should be thankful.
We're gonna, we're gonna have one here at the Coop.
I almost feel like that's like, it's low hanging
I
fruit.
barely
You know
like
what I mean?
hot dogs. It's a fucking disgusting meat.
Oh, wait.
It's-
Like I would rather eat
Like you said,
anything
Finch,
else than hot dog.
it's never been about the hot dog. It's never been
Right,
about
it's
the
not
hot
about
dog.
it.
Hold on,
It's
hold
not
on,
about
hold
the
on.
actual.
Fink, tell us how it's not about the hot dog. Go ahead, buddy.
Fink just timed
Fink,
out.
you have AirPods in. Yo, I legit think Fink just went under the water with his AirPods in. I'm not lying.
Fink's done.
Fink, did you go under the water with your AirPods in? Oh, he lost his AirPods. Sorry, buddy.
He's about to get
Oh
electrocuted.
my God.
Okay.
I gotta
looking
say,
for
we
him.
need to give him a hot tub and 3 bottles of wine before every episode, though. He has never been so fired up.
Absolutely.
That's because he's living his best life on vacation.
Yeah, look at that. Jesse throwing shade at Fink, crowning Tommy the food expert of the pod. You just totally discredited the Fink royalty line of hoagies. The the king of.
It's a valid point. I didn't think about it like that. I really didn't think about it. I do. I'm sorry, Fink.
Yeah. See,
Wait, Fink, by the way, I just want people to know I'm looking in here it says devices not connected for vacay Fink. He went underwater, folks, and it's over.
If anyone wants to donate to buy Fink a new pair of AirPods, he's accepting donations. Venmo.
Well, if we win the
Eric J.
chili
Fink.
bet, we can get him a pair.
Oh
Yeah,
my
let's hit
gosh.
this chili bet. What if I tell him I forgot to put his
Holy
bets in?
shit. Listen, okay. I know that we've been doing this thing for almost an hour now, and we've got some housekeeping that we need to do. I want to say one thing real quick. And I'm going to have more details for the people on this, but I know you haven't heard much Flyers content from us. And, we're going to change that because we're having a Flyers watch party for a game on April 9th here in the Coop, and people are going to be able to come
We're
down.
calling it Flyers Wives Watch for Lives.
That's
We're
brilliant.
going to bring our wives and watch the Flyers.
It's so brilliant. Thank you for doing that.
Yep.
I'll get you the details on that, peeps. We're definitely going to have people in here. It's going to be super fun. And we got that going on. And then, Mark, I know you had something that you wanted to mention earlier that you hadn't said to me that you want to mention.
Yeah, we're having so much fun. I hate to bring us down a little bit, but I'll find a way to spin us up with this. A good friend of mine, a Philadelphia rock music legend, Don Lee Van Winkle, passed away last week. So I just wanted to send some love and prayers to his family. I met Wink because in 2015, when I quit my job working for a law firm to embrace my freedom, I decided to become the assistant baseball coach of the Friends Select middle school team, even though I had no affiliation with the school. I had no kid on the team, and he was the head coach. He was part Walter Matthau in the Bad News Bears, part the grandfather I never had, part the father for me who had just passed away. He's this incredible guy. He had a band called The American Dream. He played with Dylan, Clapton. I mean, guy's a legend in the music scene, and he passed away last week. A huge baseball guy. He was connected to the Phillies through his family lines, and so just love and prayers to Wink. But what it means is step outside, do things you never think you would want to do, do things that are not within the mainstream and following the path that you're going down, because that's what I did. And I met an amazing man. I met an amazing friend. And if I had not done that, our paths never would have crossed.
Good stuff, Mark.
Beautiful, dude.
R.I.P. Wink.
And one could say just like that, start a podcast and then build a space and build a stage and get pigeons painted on the wall.
If you build it,
But look, it's funny because I was watching this video, like, you know how with your wife that you share like funny shit on the internet, you know what I mean? She showed me some reel, and it was like in the reel, the guy was like talking about guys that you wouldn't want to date or something. It was like, if all he does is talk about his podcast. And I was like, podcasts have become such like a, it's so
Negative
easy it's so easy to take a shot at somebody. But I'll tell you the truth, like, obviously through our podcast, we've been able to do really amazing things. I mean, Meech, you and Mark slept in the same bed in LA. That never would have happened. Amongst many other things. That's just what came to mind.
That's the highlight of our 73 episodes.
Yeah.
The Eagles play in LA again next year. I'm just saying.
Oh my God. But the truth is, no, seriously, really amazing things have come from this, and that's why we keep doing it. And I just want to say tonight, really, it's great to see so many people checking this out. And I do hope you'll keep coming back. You'll keep telling your friends and reach out. You want to come hang out. We got this space. We got a bar. We got a kegerator. Come hang out.
Come through.
That's what this whole thing is about, is just community. And, we're trying to have a good time. We're trying to make sure we make every moment we have count with our friends, our families, what have you. So, hit us up. Please do subscribe, follow along on social. Any recommendations for stuff to talk about or ideas, all that.
Here's what I hate as a person. Like, you guys are sharing like legit sentiments, and I'm just looking at the comments, and I see Trevor Moran say, "Think me that Jim Carrey in Living Color lifeguard," and I'm not listening to a goddamn word you're saying, and I'm just reimagining that skit in my head and laughing.
Oh, wait, two things. I did also notice. I'm going to highlight this because Wooly said that Tom's my boy, but Fink literally was quoting per unit prices of hot dogs before he was dismissed. By the way, Wooly, I want to point out, he was not
47 cents per unit.
Yo, going underwater in your hot tub is not being dismissed. He made his own decision there. That is not on us. But yeah, did you see this? I saw this the other day on the internet. It was a scene from Liar Liar with Jim Carrey.
Yeah, he's
where freaking Fire Marshal Bill is in the background. Did you see this?
I saw that years
ago.
Dude,
I had never seen it. It's tremendous.
Pretty cool though.
Dude, we've talked about Living Color and how great that is.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Good stuff.
Shout out.
All right. Well, I think that's about it for this week. And
Love y'all.
I don't know.
No, let's not.
You don't want to go? Well, see, when it's over, we can still hang on here and talk.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, see you guys.
It's fine. It's gonna be fine.
Look how quickly
we got a pizza to eat.
Look how quickly Meech got rid of our fans. Thank you, fans, everybody in the chat. We love you all.
Now listen.
Thank you for.
As far as I know, we'll be back next Wednesday. And
come hang with us.
Just hoping the Little League baseball schedule isn't in the way too much here, but we'll keep cranking out this content, folks. And thank you for joining us. And
if not, we'll hold Little League baseball practice right here.
Damn right. There's a lot of space in here. We'll make them do push-ups.
There we go, Mark. There's our
batting cage right along this
film
wall.
study at least.
We could set this up.
All right. Hey, thank you for checking it out. City Pigeons, episode 73.
Let's hit that live bet.
Peace.
Bye.